The Secrets of Middle-earth is brought to you by the StarQuest Production Network and is made possible by our many generous patrons. If you'd like to support the podcast, please visit GiveStarQuest.com.
You're listening to The Secrets of Middle-earth, where we discuss the hidden themes and deeper layers found in the works of J.R.R. Tolkien, whether in his writings or in any of the media derived from them. I'm Jeff Haecker, and joining me today are Father Bryan Shackett. Hey, Father Bryan.
Hey, Jeff. Glad to be here.
And Rob Leonardi. Hey, Rob.
Well met.
Indeed. And Robert Story. Hey, Robert.
Hello there.
All right, so today we have a long-awaited trailer for Rings of Power Season 3 to discuss. It premiered at Comic-Con a few weeks ago as you're listening to this. So before we get into the trailer, there was some casting news that came out of, it kind of came out around when the trailer did, obviously, but one of them bits is that Vecna Jamie Campbell Bower is officially cast as Celeborn. So we knew he was in the show, but we did not know his role. So he's officially Celeborn. I'm sure we'll discuss where has Celeborn been this whole time as we get into the podcast here. And then also, as we'll discuss, I'm sure Simon Pegg has been cast as the voice of the Balrog. So very interesting.
Because Balrog speak.
Hey, if they have wings, they can speak. So.
Okay.
Wow.
Poking the bear early.
It's going to prod that bear, aren't we?
Yeah, so we'll discuss more later. It also came out that the release schedule for this show is a little bit different. They're doing, basically it's going to be dropped over 3 weeks. The first week on November 11th is 4 episodes. The second week it's 2 episodes, and then 2 episodes each the next 2 weeks. So we're discussing how we're going to cover it. Probably one podcast per episode. We might do a combined premiere one. So TBD on that. But all right. So to set the stage of the trailer in the season, I just wanted to kind of briefly recap where we are. This season, they've confirmed, takes place 5 years after the events of season 2, which lightning recap that Sauron forged some rings and went to Mordor after destroying Eregion. Elendil is on the run in Numenor. The Dwarven Game of Thrones is beginning, and then Isildur was going back to Numenor. I'm assuming we'll see him back there. And the elves were kind of hanging out in the woods because their home got destroyed, or at least one of their homes got destroyed. So, all right. So
that was that confirmed to be Rivendell?
That was.
I don't think it was explicitly confirmed to be Rivendell, but that's totally Rivendell.
Yeah, I think they said that's it looks like Rivendell, and I think they've said that that's where we'll find Elrond and crew. But yeah, so getting into the trailer, it opens with Sauron forging a ring. We cut to Galadriel dancing with Celeborn, and an orc tells Arondir one ring to rule them all. And I'm not going to pronounce this right, but the Nazganagal, which are the ring race before they are race, which I have more on that later, so we'll discuss, so don't worry. They ride in the forests, and fell beasts fly through the air. And then we still see Arondir hanging out with this orc. We see Gandalf talking to Saruman, and if you deny he's Saruman, just buckle up because he's Saruman. Who says Middle-earth will burn. We see shots of Numenor and horse riding, and then Celeborn appears before Galadriel. She asks, "Where were you?" And he says, "Trying to get back to you." We see a shot of a big army, I believe elves and Numenorians, mostly Numenorians, but I think I saw elves in there. We see the Nazganagal, whatever they are, coming to Moria, and Durin saying there are no friends of Mordor here. We see Gandalf facing a Mumakil, one of the Oliphants. The orc, now with Galadriel and Arondir, is watching an army march, and Sauron says a shadow rises on Middle-earth, and we see him forge a ring.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. So I just wanted to get y'all's impressions of this trailer, and we'll discuss kind of more of the beats of it and everything. But Father Bryan, what did you think of this trailer for this season 3 of Rings of Power?
Yeah, it seems pretty dark, which makes sense where the story is going, obviously, right? But the it does seem like a much darker tone it compared to some of the other seasons, which again fits for where we are with the story. The you can see the actions of Sauron in the tendrils going out into the various pieces there. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to seeing how they do see how well that goes when how he influences the other forces there, right? So all in all, it was a short trailer. Obviously, it wasn't super long, but it gives a good tone for the story, and I think the Celeborn stuff could be interesting, right? Because I've thoughts of where I think he was, but depending on how they do that could end up being an interesting part of the whole thing, going forward. But we'll see.
Awesome. Yeah, and they're probably going to do a bigger trailer probably in a month or two. This was just kind of the Comic-Con teaser that they finally have. It took them forever. And I think at least the last two seasons, or season 3 and season 2, they did the teaser at Comic-Con. So it just finally happened. So, all right. Well, what about you, Rob? What were your trailer impressions?
Well, as Father Bryan was saying, it's a little bit more dark. We get confirmed that there are going to be no proto-hobbits, which kind of lightened the story a bit, I think. And there's definitely some controversy with a certain orc.
Boblin.
Boblin the Goblin.
Calling it right now.
I don't even think I could be hopefully optimistic at this point. I'm a little concerned with what it's going. I hope that they can take the lessons that they've learned for the past 2 seasons and they're continuing to improve. But I guess I'm a little bit more sour on this trailer.
Well,
did I just hear that?
Well, for our strongest,
did I just hear that pun?
Well, for our strongest dose of optimism, we'll throw it to Robert's story. What did you think of this trailer?
Mason isn't here, but I hear him groaning. Actually, I feel fairly optimistic about this trailer. No Harfoots. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sure you all really loved being in this role. You got to be in Middle Earth. You got to be Hobbit. You made it. Your storyline sucks. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. It looks like they're kind of pulling back the scale on this, trying to push a little bit bigger, focus more on your more named characters that everybody's here for, Elendil and Vecna. I mean, I'm definitely here for Celeborn, or as I will deliberately refer to him by his elvish name, Teleporno, and I will stand by that. I don't know. I'm excited to see Celeborn. I'm excited to see a husband and wife orc fighting team, and not just because I recently rewatched The Mummy, although also that. It looks like Numenor is actually getting the army that they were supposed to have the whole time. I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff going on in this, and this might be a hot take, but I actually really like Sauron's forge looking thingamajiggy there. It just looks cool. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Wow.
Wow, interesting.
It could be good. It could be good.
Oh, you heard it here first.
Up is down, left is right. What's going on, right?
Yeah, and
Celeborn fills me with hope, and I don't even have a certain ring held by Círdan.
Yeah. Well, and I'll say for me, I've been wanting this teaser for a while. I know they wanted to do it at Comic-Con, but I feel like I feel like they took a little too long with it, and I know it's just the teaser, but I am really excited about the season. For all the show's flaws, it's been fun to cover. It's been fun to discuss. And yeah, I think they're finally, they're ditching the Harfoots. Although I would suspect they're going to have a tease of them of some sort, maybe end of the season. We'll see them, journeying toward the what will become the Shire. I forget what they called it in season 2, but I would suspect they'll show up at some point, even if it's just a teaser. And I think we'll, check in with them at least a couple more times in the rest of the show. But it seems like you said, Robert, it seems like they're really opening up the scale, which, has felt a little bit small at times. Like when they had these big battles, it seems like maybe they didn't go as big as they could have. And, or they kept things dark, so it was hard to see what's going on sometimes. So yeah, but I'm excited. So, well, I guess I guess we can start with Celeborn, since that seems to be kind of where I think one of the biggest things is we finally have seen him. Yeah, because for 2 seasons, I remember season 1 I was on, and then none of y'all were on season 2, but we were the whole time just constantly asking, where is Celeborn here with the relationship of Halbrand and Galadriel, and Sarandatar and Galadriel, like finally wanting to know where is Celeborn. So
I much desire to speak with him. So yeah, what did y'all think of seeing him in this trailer? Does he meet expectations? Does he not meet? I mean, we just saw the brief teases, and but just any thoughts on Celeborn, or just any theories on we can throw theories out to you anytime. So
I was really hoping that Galadriel's daughter was just gonna be like, "Hey, I'm me," and then Galadriel and Celebrimbor, oh my gosh,
oh boy,
Celeborn show up. Which, by the way, Celebrimbor is showing up this season somehow. I saw that.
I mean, probably a flashback.
Hopefully, yeah.
Pretty. It better be. That's a pretty non-negotiable ending there.
He's re-embodied, and he comes back.
No, we're not going there. Nope.
Or like a ghost figure or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, they better not.
Force ghost.
That could somehow join to some random human, like in the game, right?
That was dancing around it. I was like, no, we're not saying the word. We're not talking about it.
Yeah, so it's I want to know where he was, but like I want to know why he hasn't been here the whole time, and why are they just now putting him in here?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was because they wanted to make Galadriel more like, they wanted to have the little bit of I didn't really think it was a romance triangle with Sauron. He may have wanted it to be, but I think they just kind of wanted to throw that wrench in there and get people talking about it. And so I think that's why he wasn't, but yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't make, I mean, the timeline is nonsense in this show compared to the Silmarillion, like in the canon. Like there's things are happening long before they should have, or
a
long
5-year
after.
time jump for which section of story that we're following.
Yeah,
I think that I mean, obviously the timing doesn't make a lot of sense in terms of everything, right? And I'm guessing the reason that bringing Celeborn in was more of a like a studio decision to make that make sense than anything else. But I will say my suspicion, just my theory, as to how they'll explain where he's been. Probably a prisoner of Sauron, if I had to guess, right? Like that would seem logical choice of how they explain away, like, where have you been for the past however many years? Like, oh, I've been trying to get back to you. I've been held by Sauron for however long, right? That'd be my suspicion. But I think that'd make the most sense. But I'm hopeful that the presence of Celeborn could, and I don't know that actor, but he seems like he played Vecna, right?
Yeah, he's been in other things too.
Yeah. So hopefully he can carry that role well, and hopefully bring some needed like evening out of Galadriel and make the whole thing flow a little better, I think, right? And gives more context and like direction to her story, which I think we were lacking to a certain extent, especially in season 2, right? So
yeah, and one thing I will say, though, like with characters that are immortal, like that don't change for, you know, thousands of years or maybe longer, depending on how you count years of the trees. For the ones from Valinor, if the character, like, they have to make a show somewhat dramatic. Like, you can't just have someone who hasn't changed for thousands of years. Like, you have to have some kind of drama, otherwise they're just static. And that, you know, I'm a Stargate fan, and like, that's some of the ancients in that show are just boring because they're just like, they just don't do anything for thousands of years. So I think that's, you know, I think they're building Galadriel up to the Galadriel we see in the future, because I am still considering this part of the Jackson verse, like canon with the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit films. So I think they're kind of building to that, but they wanted, you know, they had to start her in more of a firebrand, you know, flames across Pat's face kind of way to build her up to, you know, more of what we see in those movies. So yeah, I think that's definitely likely. Is there will be, you know, he'll help even her out, and they'll take on Mordor together. But
and I think that has the potential to be, if they write the story well, I think that's the potential to be a fun storyline. We'll see, obviously, but that has potential, I think.
Yeah. What about you, Robert? Any Celeborn thoughts?
I have several. Some of them are good. I told you, I'm cautiously optimistic. The one thing I would actually really like to see out of this season is, I have to phrase this very carefully, I would like a romance featuring the two characters who are supposed to be madly in love with each other. Like, okay. Right, so like, I'm going back.
Is that a reference of omission?
Oh, that is coming. So the first real look we get at Celeborn in the trailer is about 10 seconds in. Like, they basically lead with it. They're dancing in a garden, and I will swear up and down it really looks like Nosla Lothian, the like fall festival, something. I will be corrected in the comments. I'm not worried about it. And it kind of looks like the beginning of their relationship. It looks like a courtship scene to me. And then there's the very worryingly spicy kiss later in the trailer. So, like, I would like a romance that Tolkien would have written, which means everybody's clothes stay on at all times in this TV show. But, like, so season 1, like, really played up Halbrand and Galadriel. Season 2 played that up, just not as much.
No, they focused more on the Queen and
Elendil.
Yes,
Elendil. Somehow,
which I'm not. Not the biggest fan. Like, if you're gonna do a romance, pick the characters who are supposed to love each other. Like, you got two right here. Go nuts-ish with it. Again, everybody keeps their clothes on because this is not a family show, but I guarantee most people are watching this with their families. So, like, I mean, other than that, there's a lot of room you can play with Celeborn and Galadriel. Like, there's a ton of possibility here. Just you have not free reign, but like a significant amount of reign to play with here. Just roll with it for once.
Yeah. Well, and as we know, their daughter gets married to Elrond, so, which I imagine they'll if they do all 5 seasons, I imagine there will be more time jumps. So I could see them, because I think even in the show, I think they're already married, even though I can't remember if they specifically said husband. All I remember is the Galadriel referencing someone she loved in season 1, like after Mordor exploded. She said something
with Theo,
with Theo, or was it Isildur? But either way,
no, it was because Theo was.
She was with him.
Yeah,
okay.
And protecting him.
Right. Well, anyway, I think that's the only so we don't know for sure they're married yet, but I would assume they probably are, because, and then I think we'll see at some point, maybe in the next season, there will be a much longer time jump or something, where, because I think we will see Elrond marry Celebrian at some point in this, because of course that has to lead to Arwen. So to get to Lord of the Rings. But
so your speculation is that the series is going to end with a baby Arwen.
I mean, possibly. I think
we'll have the setting suns and a new hope
exactly,
and all that kind of stuff.
Oh my god! Well, so the season will end basically right where the Lord of the Rings prologue picks up, and where Galadriel will be narrating. It'll be the actress Morfydd Clark narrating, and then it leads into I can't remember her name, the Galadriel actress from the movies taking over the narration, and
they slowly merge together like they did with Ian McKellen and Christopher Lee.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, but yeah, I think there will be, we'll probably see that down the road. But so all right, so one of the big controversies in this trailer is the friendly orc ? That we see. So we see this orc kind of hanging out with Arondir, and then later hanging out with Galadriel and Arondir. So what did y'all think of this?
His name is Boblin the Goblin, and every D&D player knows who he is. This is a character who has been violently kidnapped by the player characters, Galadriel, and is forced to work with them against his will. And depending on how the writers, how the DM feels, how the writers feel, he will either be revealed to be Sauron in yet another disguise, or Melkor, actually. It's always like Boblin is always the final boss, because that's how DMs punish players.
So the Google AI is telling me that his name is actually Marnuk. So he does have a name already, but
that's Orcish for Boblin.
And he left his wife and kid at home too, right?
That was Glug. Talk about a real romance.
Yeah, I wasn't super happy when I saw this orc talking and all that, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I'm not filled with an overwhelming sense of confidence about that particular storyline, but we shall. I can reserve judgment until I see the storyline.
He did have a sword at his neck at some point, but wasn't that when they were hiding from? What'd you call them? The
Nazgûl.
Yeah.
Where did we
come up with that name?
Yeah, I have it in to talk about, but But anyway, yeah, let's wrap up. Let's talk about the orc first, then we'll get to them.
Boblin.
Yeah, that this one has some question marks for me. It's not the most questionable thing they've ever done in this show, but it could be up there. It could be among them. But we'll just, and I think it's interesting because we saw kind of a more sympathetic orc portrayal last season. And of course they had to kill off I can't think of the character's name, but the Adar, yeah, he was one of the most interesting parts of the show, and he's gone, unfortunately. But because Tolkien himself never quite fully landed on are orcs irredeemable, and I think we did an episode a while back about this that none of y'all were on yet, but I think we kind of talked about how if the orcs like Sauron wanted to come to the Valar for forgiveness, that it could be granted to them, but they had to come seek that. So I think the orcs themselves aren't irredeemable, so it could be interesting to see them play with that. I don't think they're going to go that deep. I think it's probably going to be the orc maybe dies semi-heroic and saves, somebody from something, but I don't think it's going to be like we see him getting fully redeemed and getting to go to the heart of Iluvatar like men, but do when they die. But
we're assuming that he wants to be with them at this point. He's not leading them into some sort of trap like Shelob.
Yeah. That's definitely possible.
I would actually love that if he spends the whole season being very helpful and very friendly, and then in the penultimate episode, sup, Shelob. And he just scampers off to be Benny.
Oh, yeah. She's done by this point.
Well, she's eating herself for eternity, basically.
It would be a cool turn of events if they're doing that, and then it was a ploy by Sauron to confuse him or something, that would be a cool turn, right? And you could see Sauron's like strength of will, that kind of thing. That would be cool, admittedly. I don't suspect that's what they're doing, but that would be cool to do, honestly.
Yeah. So I'll reserve some judgment until we see where this goes. But yeah, so yeah, the next kind of big reveal is the Nazgul, which are the. So it is an Elvish translation from the Black speech. It means ring servant rather than ring wraith, because these are, if these are the 9 or some of the 9, they are not wraiths yet. Because if Sauron forges the One Ring, they haven't been fully bound to him yet until he does. So I think. So,
but they are the ones that are wearing the rings.
The men, the rings of men
made corruption.
Right. Yeah, they're partway there. But yeah, I don't mind that they're doing this and showing kind of that transition, but we'll just have to see again. Like it's a lot of like waiting and seeing what they're going to do. But I think it's interesting to have them be out in the world and doing things and going on Sauron's missions. It's kind of poking some holes in my Witch Kimmin of Angmar theory that if they're already active and out and about, but maybe he could be number 9. Like maybe he doesn't have all 9 yet.
This is 5 years later.
Yeah, it's true.
The one thing I was hoping for, and maybe they'll still do this, right? Maybe we'll have like like sometimes they're in their black robes, sometimes they're not, kind of thing, right? But I was kind of hoping that when they had the 9, you would see them kind of doing like a slow turn, like. I know there was going to be a time jump, but, like have them working for the bad, but not quite fully bad yet as they're corrupted over the course of the rest of the season kind of thing. I thought that'd be cool. Maybe they'll still do that. They could still do that, obviously, right? With this doesn't exclude that. Yeah. But, we'll see.
Yeah, because we don't know. I think we only know 2 or 3, or is it just 2 of the ring race that we actually know their identities? Well, it's Angmar, the Witch King of Angmar, and then it's the Easterling. I forget his name, but
Zubin Varla.
Yeah.
No, that's who plays. That's the actor. Kamul.
That doesn't sound very
Kamul.
Yeah,
Kamul.
That's it.
It's Kamul. Yeah.
I was like,
I don't think that's Tolkien there.
He usually avoids the Z letters. That's interesting.
That doesn't sound like Tolkien. No, Kamul's a name we know, yeah. And I think there are 3 Numenorians, right?
Yeah.
3 Numenorians.
3 Numenorians, 6, a couple from Arnor, and unknown about the rest.
Yeah. Well, Arnor wouldn't have been founded yet, so.
Well, again, there's a 5-year time jump, so
Arnor isn't
at the very least.
But Arnor isn't founded until Elendil and Sons land after the Akalabeth. So unless they're, y'all may know more, but unless the other 9 are like, some of them become race after the last alliance, but I don't know if that
wouldn't make sense.
They're all race. I believe they're all race before the last alliance,
okay.
But in the books, this is like a 2,000 year
That's true. Yeah.
thing that they're compressing into.
Yeah. That's
like
true.
7 so far.
And Arnor is founded before the last alliance, but it's definitely possible that we have, we won't see all 9 yet. So I'm still holding out that Kimmin will be one of the Nazgul, if not the Witch Kimmin. I think he'll show up. That's been my theory for at least in season 2. But we'll see.
I'm clicking around the trailer, and the lead dude who is legally not the Witch King of Angmar, but is totally going to be the Witch King of Angmar. There's a ring on his hand. There's a ring on that finger.
Okay.
So at least one of them has one of the rings of men.
Yeah, because he forged those.
We'll. Yeah,
because he forged those. Celebrimbor and Sauron forged those in season 2, and that's because we saw that Sauron was tricking Celebrimbor. And I think Sauron pockets the mithril that they got to keep it for his one ring. I think because I watched season 2 a while back.
Because then he uses blood.
Right, he uses his goo. But I think he pockets that mithril to use in his one ring to make it as pure as can be. So because that is the thing in Tolkien of when you make something, you give away some of your life force, especially like that's what happened to Melkor, who became Morgoth. He gave away so much of his life force, and then Sauron pours pretty much everything into the One Ring that he has left. So
yeah, and then speaking about the ring wraiths, unfortunately, we disproved Robert's theory a few episodes ago with the fell beasts.
Yep, they're right there. Like,
was that later on in the trailer? It looked like a fell beast, but like not a full
white.
Yeah,
right. Like almost a proto fell beast. Like this could be what fell beast came from.
Well,
I mean, I still like the idea of their corrupted eagles. I don't know if I had that idea or somebody else said it.
So that's what the creators have said in their kind of backs in their, and I don't know that we'll see it in this season. Like we'll see a flashback of this happening, but they have said that they kind of think that the fell beasts are descended from eagles that were fallen, whether they were captured and twisted like elves, or whether they, there was like a dissenting faction of eagles or something.
I could buy that. Like I could see Melkor like taking some of the eagles and just torturing them until they become this thing.
It was supposed to be Sauron bred them to combat the eagles.
So the shot that the fell beast appears in, I'm clicking around the trailer like crazy. The shot that we see the fell beast in, like that's Mordor. Like that's clearly Sauron kind of in the middle of the shot. That's definitely his tower. So like I could see him like this is Sauron regathering his strength and all the creatures under his command, and yeah, that would be one of the fell beasts. So what was it called? The creepy things, the unknown things that Gandalf had to. The nameless things that lurk in the dark. That's the second time today I've referenced those, which is surprising.
Yeah, and then speaking of, just to kind of move to the next part, we see the ring race or the Nazgûl. They show up to seemingly to Khazad-dûm to try to try to get something out of Durin, or make an alliance or something, and we see Durin kind of rejecting that. And I will say, for me, the dwarves, Durin and the dwarves has been that and Numenor are the strongest storylines. And I think it's partly because we haven't really seen, we've seen very little dwarvish, like we saw them in the movies, of course, but on a smaller scale, even in the Hobbit movies, which, again, those are the Hobbit movies. And some of them are movies that exist. We haven't seen like a full dwarvish kingdom in all its glory, and so that's been one of the best things for me, is seeing that in Khazad-dûm. And I was joking but I kind of think like we will see some kind of fallout from Durin choosing to because he had because they had the rings forged by Celebrimbor and Sauron that they were kind of using to make deals with the other kingdoms. But then Durin, the new Durin, because his dad got twisted by the ring, I think it pulled the rings back and didn't want to do that. So, but if there was an alliance made, or treaties made with that, the other dwarves could come a calling. And they did talk about Durin's brother, like some people are backing him. So I kind of do think we might see a little bit of like dwarvish, like a Game of Thrones for dwarves, of like fighting for the throne potentially.
Yeah, and it was really cool also to see Disa, and like she's doing something. Her eyes were
glowing.
Well, her eyes are yellow, but already.
But like it almost seemed like she was doing her whole singing thing, like calling into the mountains, almost as if she's I don't know. It would be really cool if she was able to like get the mountain somehow to attack. Which could be there could. Boom! Mind explosion here. That's how they get the rock giants.
Oh, okay, okay. I was gonna say, so like in Fellowship of the Ring, as they're trying to cross Caradhras, like the mountain is awake and is annoyed they're there and is trying to chase it off. So we already know canonically the mountains are at least partially sentient, or at least the old ones are. And so
Wasn't that
It's not
Saruman
outside the
controlling them though?
No, that was the movies.
No, that was Sauron was controlling the weather to drive them. The actual like giants that were throwing the rocks were just fighting each other for fun.
Right. Well,
That was in the
That's
Hobbit.
the Hobbit.
And when they're trying to cross Caradhras, like Gandalf specifically says, the mountain is awake and does not like visitors. Sauron is tormenting them with the weather, but Caradhras is actively causing avalanches, saying, "Get off me." So, like, we know the mountains can do stuff. So I would not. It's not outside of the possibility that Disa is trying to awaken the mountain to drive off the not ring wraiths, even though they will be. Another detail that, like, I remembered while Rob was talking, in the last alliance of elves and men, which we all know is coming, dwarves fought for Sauron. The Grey Dwarves fought on. So, like, we might be seeing the beginning of that here, of like Jeff's Dwarven Game of Thrones, like the Nazan the Gaul. We're going to be tripping over that until this stupid show comes out
for the next number of months. Yes,
yeah, for the next like 3 months, we're going to be. How do you pronounce this word? They might be like, all right, so who's going to help us? Because we know some of you are.
Yeah.
So we might actually get like a Dwarven Game of Thrones-esque thing. That'd be cool.
And I think that'd be kind of interesting to see. We obviously know that that Moria is going to obviously fall. Obviously, we know it's coming. And obviously, the Balrog will have to be a big part of that, obviously. But it'd be interesting to see some of these other things happen that might lead obviously to the further awakening of everything, right? And the collapse of this whole thing tied to all this corruption that comes from the rings. Ultimately, right? I think that'd be a cool kind of thing to see. So that would be hopefully present. I do think that's and the Dwarven storyline is one of the better ones in the show. So I do think that could be really cool, admittedly.
Yeah.
To see how they handle that.
Yeah, because last we saw the Balrog, it's off like in the collapsed section of where they were trying to get or where they were, delving too greedily and too deeply. So that's out there. And speaking of the Balrog, they also, one of the other reveals is that, I don't know if it was in the trailer, but it was an image or something they released that has Sauron facing the Balrog, and he's holding Morgoth's crown and like using that as like seemingly as a way to like compel the Balrog. Because I believe Sauron was in charge of the Balrogs during Melkor's reign. Like his thing was he was in charge of the Balrogs.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he was like the lieutenant of
Morgoth. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be interesting seeing, because we, just to talk about it, they cast Simon Pegg to voice the Balrog. And I think, and I mean, obviously on the one hand, it's like, it can be a joke. Like we could joke about it that, Simon Pegg is a very comedic actor and is going to be funny, but like we saw, I think it's going to be more like what they did with Benedict Cumberbatch in the Hobbit movies, where they kind of, you have someone who doesn't have a super deep voice, but then you like really manipulate it to make it sound really like deep and dark and sinister. So I mean, I'm like, again, that's one of the question marks for me. So I'm not going to judge that that's going to be bad, but I think it's something definitely to kind of see what they're going to do with the talking Balrog in this.
Yeah, I'm maybe it might be a bit of a hot take. I'm not like confident in it, but I was thinking about this and it's like, well, the Balrogs are obviously fallen Maya, obviously, right? So they would have the capability for, like, the idea of speech wouldn't be foreign, right? We never have a situation of the Balrogs talking, I don't think, do we?
The closest we got was when Gandalf fought the Balrog.
Yeah.
And it was something like he was saying...
He yelled at him.
He yelled or saying some sort of spells or something like that as they fell.
And I think, actually, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong here, please. And I'm sure the comments will if I'm wrong. But if I thought before he noses the Balrog, right, when he shuts the door, doesn't Gandalf make a comment about, like, the counter spells that the Balrog is like saying? Doesn't he make some kind of comment about that at that point of the story? So that would obviously imply that they could speak in some capacity. So the speaking thing, I don't necessarily think is an inherently bad thing. It's just how they do it. To see how if it's done in a good way, or if it's done in a way that's not helpful.
But see, if they're really powerful, then they can just not have to verbalize the spell, and it just.
Okay, that's the wizard class, and Balrogs are clearly sorcerers. Okay, they're obviously warlocks, which actually is even worse. Oh my god. Okay, I did pull up that picture you were talking about. It really looks like he's got Morgoth's
crown.
It really looks like it's Morgoth's crown, but it also really looks like they're fighting. So I think we're going to get like kind of a dark inversion of the battle on the bridge, where Sauron bends at least one Balrog to his will, which, I mean, I'm fine with that. Like, I don't actually have any real issue. My only question is like, but why Simon Pegg? Like,
I know it's an interesting choice. Interesting choice.
I if you do it, okay, so they're going with like the very bestial, like Peter Jackson style of Balrog. So you're going in with the audience expectation of these are not like powerful sorcerer Maiar that have been turned evil. These are creepy demon flame demons. Balrogs. I don't know. So like to have one speak is already gonna look incongruous, even if it fits with the lore. And like Jeff said, like, yeah, you can put like a million levels of layering and FX and whatever on it, but it's still like, but why Simon Pegg? Like,
I'm not sure Simon Pegg matters so much, because the last time that we heard Black speech, if I remember right, they actually had they actually wrote the Black speech backwards and then played it forwards in the movie, so that it just sounded awful because it's Black speech. And so they could easily do something like that. And
I mean, that, yeah, okay. There's enough uncertainty here to where I'm like, I'm willing to roll with this up until it happens, and then I'll decide from there.
Yeah, that's kind of my approach to it. Like, Simon Pegg's an accomplished actor, so I think he has the capability and the range to do it. It's just it's not normally how he approaches things, so I'll have to wait and see how he does it. But,
and if it's just like one line, like, this is a glorified cameo, so I really don't care.
Yeah. And
he has done that kind of thing before, right? So he had the whole role in Star Wars where he never said anything. He was just in the suit for the whole time.
Portions. Yeah. 1/4 portion.
Amen. True.
Yeah.
Forgive me. I should say not even forgive me. I'm not praising that at all. So,
yeah. So yeah, we'll see. A few other things. So I think probably end we talk about forging the One Ring, but other things that we saw in the trailer, and there was a second. It wasn't really a trailer, but it was like a creature reveal thing that they did
feature
where they kind of showed some. They taught, and that's where we see more of the fell beast and other things. But we do see in the main trailer the Mumakil, the Oliphant that is facing that Gandalf will face. So, which again, going to the east, like that is where I thought and was hoped the show was going to go and play, like, and would be blue wizards and all that, but they didn't do that. They went with Gandalf and Saruman. And just to talk about Saruman, he's looking very Saruman like in his scenes in this trailer.
He really is.
I do have to admit that is actually a really cool scene, and it's like almost you're looking for the camera on the other side that filmed it for Lord of the Rings. Like that was a cool scene.
Yeah. I don't know. It's cool. That's one of those shots to where when I saw it, I was like, no, see, this is what you guys should have been doing the whole time. This is great. Like this is ominous. This is dreadful in all the good ways. Like more of this.
But so the Mumakil, though, going back to that's obviously from the Easterlings, right? So we're gonna see more of the Easterlings. So I assume that because the Harfoots are out this season, and hopefully they I mean, I appreciated the Harfoot. It was kind of cool to see the proto story of hobbits. I liked that part. But I assume that it means that we're going to forget them, at least hopefully, because they should just be off where everyone forgets about them. And then we're going to go into Ruin, and we're going to meet the... I'm not going to say he is. He's the Dark Wizard.
Dark Blue Wizard, yes.
And
Saruman.
More than likely, given what they're doing.
Oh my god.
They've been so obvious with everything else. You just have
the creator specifically. The creator specifically said that for now he is not defined by his title or name, but by his deeds, which are dark. Which doesn't make sense because Saruman's not supposed to be corrupted till later.
Agreed. Which means it's Radagast.
Wouldn't that be a turn of events?
And Radagast somehow is uncorrupted.
But is a little weird, so he just goes off into nature for the next 3,000
Or maybe
years.
that's the whole thing. Gandalf gives him some sort of complex and he forgets who he is. And just lives with the animals.
They saw that bird jumping down his face that causes everything, right?
Oh god, I just had a horrible thought. All right, so in the letters of Tolkien, near the back end of his life, he was playing around with the idea of Gandalf did come to Middle-earth during the Second Age and did have a hand in these events, but then the Maiar wiped his memory, so he only remembers coming to Middle-earth in the Third Age. What if they did that to Sauron because he went bad?
Saruman, yeah. Well, and so a while back there was some news sites that said the actor was, or the Dark Wizard was playing Polando, the Blue Wizard turned dark. But I think, just how obvious they've been with everything, I think, it would actually surprise me if they actually don't make him Saruman at this point, just because they were so I denied Sauron, I denied Gandalf denied Halbrand as Sauron, I denied Gandalf as the stranger.
You're just accepting it now.
So I'm just if you're going to be obvious
you
about it,
want to be right somehow.
if you're going to be obvious about it and you've been obvious about it every time, then I'm just going to go with, I'm just going to accept what you're saying. So I'd like to be proven wrong. I would I think the Blue Wizards would have been more interesting in this than Gandalf, but they had to, try to get people who like Lord of the Rings because, oh, look, Gandalf and hobbits, but a lot of us haven't liked that necessarily in this show. So
yeah,
but we still have room for more Blue Wizards. Now they're still out there.
That's true.
I have hope. I have hope.
Hope
And
does
a brown
bring
wizard.
eternal.
It does.
I'm really hoping it's not Saruman, but you're totally right, Jeff. It's everything. Given how obvious they've been about literally everything else, it's more than likely Saruman. Right? So.
It's the most Christopher Lee looking dude I've ever seen this side of actually Christopher Lee.
But it doesn't make sense for him to be corrupted yet. Realistically, if it's Saruman, because that's the one thing they're throwing me. Because it doesn't make any sense for the story of him be corrupted at that point. I'm be angry and not be happy. I can get right, but be corrupted doesn't make sense. But who knows? We'll see.
Well, and I could see it very well that Gandalf kind of brings him back to, hey, this isn't what you were sent for. And he's, has some sort of redeeming quality. But
It sucks to have a redemption arc when you just know he's going to fall again. That just feels... I mean,
you can still lose your salvation. Yes, Robert.
I'm well aware. Trust me. Trust me, I'm well aware of that. I mean, if it's done, they could do it. It is possible. So, I don't know. I will withhold judgment until I see it, but man, that's definitely Saruman.
So,
yeah, totally.
Now, is Tom Bombadil going to come back?
No.
I think so.
Dang it.
I think they did say that he would be in this season, so.
But will he be Tom Bombadil?
I don't know.
Or will he be a dude who says he's Tom Bombadil but actually isn't?
Maybe he's Sauron, right?
Tom,
He's himself.
well, we all know Tom Bombadil is actually Melkor, who was sent back as punishment. Isn't it Lord of the Rings Online or something that has that as a theory, or is that just a random theory? I don't know. No, it was that Ungoliant is. Anyway, never mind. That gets into
I
don't even know what's.
I've never heard this before.
There was I think it was a theory about season 2 that Tom Bombadil and Goldberry were going to be Melkor and Ungoliant, who were sent back as punishment. But
wait, what? Seriously? Wow. All right.
I need to have a talk with some of these fans.
All right.
Like, so
So
like, wow.
So to move along to the next. Oh, did you have something?
Well, I mean, as long as we're going off on crazy theories, what about Snaggleroot and Winterbloom?
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Let's bring the Ents back.
It could. I mean, yeah.
There are shots in the forest where there's trees, there's Ents. It could happen.
Yeah.
Oh God, it could happen.
It could happen. This is true. I mean, all things could happen. So
now I forget. Were the Ents involved in the Last Alliance at all?
I don't think so.
I don't recall any mention of them, but
I've never heard anything about them. It's not mentioned any of the main things. I don't think he said anything about the Ents being involved in that way.
But this series has to reference everything from the movie, so at some point the Ents have to charge not Isengard of some kind.
Yeah.
So
maybe they'll charge the Dark Wizard's place, right?
Yeah,
Whatever
they'll charge the Dark Wizard's tower, so he has to flee to Isengard, which the Númenóreans are currently building. Yeah, no, this. Oh boy.
Well, speaking of Númenor, we see a little bit of them in this trailer, but not really. This teaser was more focused, it seems like, on the elves and on Sauron, and didn't really. But we got a few shots. We see Elendil at the head of the army, and
I didn't see the Oathbreaker anywhere.
Yeah, we didn't see.
There is a shot of a dude on a horse with a whole bunch of dead Númenóreans around him, who looks awful. Well, the Oathbreaker, never mind.
King Otheo Breaker.
Well, okay. There's
Theo, the Oathbreaker. Yes.
Oh, don't call him that. I mean, there is an unknown. There's an unknown dude in the trailer who, he's got to show up at some point. Like,
Yeah,
he will, of course.
Well,
They had to do the 5-year time jump just so that the kid 5 years later doesn't look so. They had to explain it off somehow.
yeah, we see a little bit of Númenor. The other reveal not in the trailer is that the actor who plays Elrond will actually also play the role of Elros in the show, because they were twins. Robert Arameo or something like that is his name, but they did come out and say that he would play Elros. So I'm kind of hoping
a flashback of some sort.
I would love to see a flashback of something from the the War of Wrath, or at least like the founding of Númenor, and seeing, it would be nice to kind of see Elros and Elrond kind of part ways as brothers, because
and it might be a flashback, maybe it would be cool to see like something about referencing Númenor in its prime before it went dark and before everything kind of fell apart there, right? Like the actual good Númenorians, before everything fell apart. That'd be kind of cool.
So is Finrod going to come back too?
Don't give me hope. Finrod's one of my favorites, so I would love to see him.
Just for me, I desperately want Elros to have long elvish hair, just to mess with everybody. Like, that's just for me. I really hope to do that.
Yeah, but will he have pointy?
That's how to tell them apart.
But will he have pointy ears though? Like, how does that work when you choose? Like,
he is a half elfin, right?
I mean, he's half elven. So, but if he chooses,
what happens to your?
He just. I think your ears stay the same. Look,
but do they?
I mean, the hobbits have pointy ears, don't they?
Yeah. So that's a point of argument.
They probably shouldn't have pointy ears, right? They probably shouldn't, though.
They're never explicitly described as having pointy ears, but a lot of fan art has them have pointy ears, even though they're descended from men, so they shouldn't.
Unless they had a dwarf elf, a human elf.
Oh.
You got there, Rob. You got there.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. Oh, that was out of nowhere. I hate it.
Yeah, so because I think I think where this season is going is so this season is the War of Sauron and the Elves, and at the end of that's when Numenor shows up and Sauron basically convinces them to take him to Numenor, and that sets up the Akalabeth. So I think that's where this season is going. Like it's going to end with Numenor taking Sauron, or rather Sauron letting himself be taken to Numenor. So, and then that'll set up, of course, the Akalabeth, and then in season 4, and then if they get all the seasons, then season 5 can be kind of the founding of the kingdoms and the last alliance, hopefully. So
that structure does give me hope. That would be cool things to see, right?
Yeah.
We'll see if they get that far, of course.
I think they will, because this is like Jeff Bezos' one of his pet projects. So, and
they've put so much money into this too. So,
oh my god! Yeah, and this is the most beautiful sunk cost fallacy I've ever watched.
It's just so expensive.
Yeah,
I mean, but it's starting to show. Like, there's a very brief shot of Elendil in like full armor regalia that really looks like he did in the War of the Last Alliance, and like this helm is gorgeous. It's glorious. I love it. They're all supposed to look like that, but okay. Yeah, we're moving on from that.
No t-shirt armor this time?
No, but if you freeze, you can definitely tell all of these swords are really rubber. Like, wow. Especially with Boblin.
Are you going to call him that the entire season, by the way?
Until I have a convincing reason to stop.
So yes, the answer is yes.
So that's a yes then, okay.
Let's see what else there were. There's a lot of like shots in the trailer of like there's a shot of Durin. I think Durin and Disa along with another dwarf. Like it was kind of hard to see because it was very zoomed out. But another like lady dwarf and what looked like another dude dwarf. So like I don't know if they're fleeing Khazad Dûm or something, but they're kind of walking through the forest, it looks like. Let's see, we see shots of it. We see an eagle flying, so we'll see what happens with that. We saw those in season 2, did we see them in season 1 or just season 2? I think it's
just season 2.
Okay,
I think it's just season 2.
Yeah, because they showed up to Pharazôn, and he thought that meant he was king. And we do, speaking of Pharazôn, we see him in kind of his full like armor and glory, and he does look pretty cool. Not gonna lie, but he's gonna lead all of Numenor to their doom. But
to their glory first, and then their doom.
Yeah. Well, some glory for now, because he's until they capture Sauron, and then it's when they start worshiping Melkor and sacrificing humans. So
and that's the kind of thing, I know it's a little off topic, but I've always wondered, how are they going to actually depict how truly evil Numenor gets, right? Because it's a dark thing to depict, right? And
yeah, it's going to be like how many off-screen screams can you have like before? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it, but all the theories I have are worse than whatever they'll actually think up. Well,
I think we've talked to, or maybe not y'all, but I think on the podcast before we've talked about Isildur's sister is an architect. So is she going to be the one that builds the temple to Morgoth, or Melkor? I think they call him Melkor because it's Sauron. Sauron, giving the, I think was proselytizing the gospel of Melkor.
Yeah.
But I guess my thing is, at what point is how is Sauron going to go back to Numenor and do all of this stuff if he's too busy? Like that has to be.
Well, he gets captured, but like he gives himself up to Numenor basically, and
he does, yeah.
In the Silmarillion, or in Rings of Power in 30. Or no, Silmarillion. I don't know. In one of those.
No, it's Silmarillion.
Okay.
Yeah. The Rings of, yeah.
I couldn't remember. Well, I couldn't remember which. I guess it's in the Akalabeth. Would it be in the Akalabeth though? Because the Silmarillion proper ends with the War of Wrath.
It's in the book, but yeah, I think it's in the. I think it's in the Akalabeth.
Yeah, and it's kind of mixed
the
with
Rings of Power in the 30.
I think it's all of them. Like
they kind of are mixed together a little bit.
Yeah,
timeline wise, but
I guess is he going to look like Halbrand again? And people are going to be like, "Oh, hey, I recognize that guy."
That guy.
Well, I mean, he already looks like Halbrand, so he doesn't look.
That's
that
the one issue.
different.
Like, I think I remember that. Yeah, that's a good question. But like, he doesn't hide who he is when he's
they know he's Sauron,
right? So they know he's Sauron, so he's not trying to hide anything. I think he'll appear in a fair form. It wouldn't surprise me what they do, by the way, is if they have him take more of an Anatar, not an elving, because they hate elves in there, but more of like that kind of perception of himself, right?
Yeah,
probably. That would how I would think they would do it, honestly.
Yeah.
Unless they're all about, all the dark stuff, maybe they'll do it that direction too. So
we haven't seen a lot of blonde Numenorians. It's a lot. They tend to be darker, darker complected and dark hair. So, because he has dark, he has a dark wig this time instead of the blonde wig, and from season 2. So, the actor does. So yeah, but I think that's where it'll likely end. But yeah, before we get there, like the One Ring, it looks like he forges it this season. So what did y'all think of like this? This is something that could be really cool to see on screen, but we've already we've seen the tail end of this in the movies but he's just holding up the ring, but we actually see him seemingly forging it in the cracks of Mount Doom. So what did y'all think of those shots in the trailer?
Well, they look cool, I think. They do look cool. One thing is, it seems like he's using a lot of metal to forge a ring.
It's a thick ring.
And it changes size.
It grows, right?
Yeah.
I've never forged a ring, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But it seems like it's a lot of material. But I will admit, I mean, I'll give props where props due. That was a cool scene that was depicted well in the trailer. We'll see how it ends up being in the actual show, right? But it did look cool, admittedly. And the shot of him holding up the ring obviously is an iconic shot. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Part of me, if we're likening this the Jackson verse, it would be cool for him to have like a full helmet on at that point. But reference that. But whatever.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, you can't hide his face. That's
no, you can't, of course. Yeah.
So I do have to say, I think it's at 1 minute and 26 seconds when you see him holding up the ring. For a moment, my brain went William Dafoe Goblin. Like he almost looked like he looks like the Goblin in that second.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. I see it. Unfortunately, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
even makes it better considering.
Yeah. We'll the ring. We'll see how the ring goes, right? Because it was an interesting scene. But the one thing, by the way, side point, I do think that if they do this well, I don't remember the actor's name who plays Sauron.
Charlie
that guy,
Vickers.
Yeah.
Charlie Vickers, yeah.
I give the guy credit. He seems to have a fair range in how he plays his character. Realistically, I'll give props for props is due. He's he seems like he has a decent amount of range for how he's playing the character. So we'll see how he pulls it off.
Yeah,
I just really appreciate that they're using Feanor's hammer. Because
I was gonna say that is Feanor's hammer, right? That he has.
Oh, it's definitely there's no question.
Because that was the exact same one that was used last season,
right? Yeah.
So tying in with Jeff, your theory of he pocketed all the mithril while he was doing that, he probably just and my hammer.
That's probably Celebrimbor's whole work bag.
The rest of the tools look pedestrian. Like the hammer really sticks out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love the fact that they're doing that because it really plays into Sauron's A, covetousness, and B, the idea that he can't truly create, he can only pervert something else. So he has to take something that has made wondrous works, the Silmarils, and he's using it to make his hammer or his ring rather, because he has to have all the cool stuff. This is a neat little detail. And if they don't overplay their hand with it, I could see it going really well. If he gets a whole episode cackling over stealing the hammer, that will not be as good.
Well, that could be why he's sending his the Nazgul to Khazad-dûm if he needs mithril to, because he took that mithril, but if he needs more to forge more rings for the 9.
He already made those rings.
But did he make all of them or just some of them? Do we know?
Yeah. He made them all.
You counted.
There's only one left.
You counted all 9.
Well, no, because that Celebrimbor himself is the one that makes them.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
And then Sauron only makes the one ring.
Well, no. So Sauron wasn't involved in. We saw the Elven rings being forged at the end of season 1. Season 2, they forged the Dwarven rings,
the dwarf and the rings for men.
I knew they forged some, and there's also I think there's also other rings of power that they talk about in.
There are lesser rings
of power.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying they could, some of those could, that were his trial runs for the men rings. And then he
could have been more than 9.
Yeah. Well, he's got to get them.
But I do think it's canonical that Celebrimbor makes all of them except the Ring of Power.
The great rings of power, yes.
In Tolkien, yes, that's what happened in Tolkien, of course, right?
Okay, I couldn't remember if he was involved in forging the men's rings in the 2, or if that was Sauron's work alone.
Yeah, I mean, originally in the other Rings of Power in Third Age, the Dwarven rings and the men rings were all made for elves, of course, right? And then eventually the
Elven rings
shifted gears when everything.
The Elven rings were kept hidden and never touched by Sauron, so they're pure, but they keep them hidden so that they're don't fall under the influence. I
want to say Sauron's original plan was, before that he knew about the 3 Elven rings, was that he was going to give all the rings to elves, and then that didn't work, so he went to dwarves and men, and then dwarves didn't really work, and then men are easy to corrupt, so here we are. Yeah. So.
I bet
I could be wrong, though.
If he's breaking into Khazad-dûm to steal even more mithril, I bet it's because he's like, all these guys have armor. I should probably make myself a set of really spiky armor.
Yeah, and I was thinking he probably went there to Khazad-dûm to try to get the Balrog on him. If they're talking about,
or that.
Well, that's Sauron himself, though, not the. But we see the scene of the Nazgul going. So but again, like you said earlier, it could be that.
But no, it clearly has to be 2 different Balrogs, but because the one stays in there for a very long time, he's not going to come out and then go back down into the mountain.
Have you seen?
The mountain is his home.
Have you seen what the show? Have you seen what the show does?
Okay. Yes.
Have you seen Rings of Power?
Okay, I'm trying to be hopefully optimistic here instead of sour, okay?
Mithril was a lightning strike that was between
I will defend Rob here. Canonically, because Tolkien never settled on a number, there's somewhere between 3 and 3,000 more Balrogs somewhere in Middle-earth. It's one of those.
I mean, it's probably a little less than 3,000, because most were destroyed at the end of the ring at the War of the Wrath. Right?
Yeah, but he never decided how many actually laid siege to Gondolin. So, he flip-flopped on how many are left.
Definitely 1 or 2 that were named, I thought, in the siege of Gondolin.
I think Gothmog is the only named one, though, because he was the chief. Is it Gothmog? Yes. The chief of them.
The original rendition of the Fall of Gondolin had thousands of Balrogs besieging
hundreds and hundreds of them, and then the final version had Celebrimbor's the other one.
Finrod?
Celeborn?
No, the Chad elf. Come on.
Finrod.
No, the other one.
We're running out of elves here, dude.
The one who 1v1 the Balrog.
Gilgalad.
No, wait. It starts with a G.
Gilgalad.
No.
It's the other one. Hold on. You're talking about the one that fights Gothmog and.
Yes.
You're talking about the chief of the thing, right? The chief of
the elf
city
who fights Gothmog reappears in Fellowship of the Ring to escort Frodo.
Glorfindel?
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, we got there eventually.
Yeah.
It's a little.
Okay.
It's a little sad it took us all that long to figure that out.
I was getting mixed up with.
There are people who are screaming at us right now.
Well, I was getting mixed up with Fingon, but that was during the Leonardi ad. So
yeah.
Anyway,
he spears him with his helmet. He falls into the fountain, and they both die.
I could have sworn that Ecthelion killed him.
Ecthelion falls into the fountain, but Glorfindel kills him when they're escaping the city.
Okay.
Kills a different Balrog when he's escaping the city.
So there's at least 2 besieging the city at the end. Yeah.
I told you there's 2.
Yeah. I mean, those 2 are dead, but you know. I'm just saying there is confirmed more than one Balrog in Middle Earth.
Well, I could, like I said, I could see Sauron trying to get send my Minglings people to go get that one Balrog out, because I'm trying to build an army of Balrogs, but they come across the dwarves and
but he would know the dwarves are there because he forged the rings.
Correct.
So.
But then if
he could have easily thought that they were corrupted.
Or he's trying to corrupt them.
Right.
Yeah.
Both
Yeah.
and.
So
that way, if he doesn't get a Balrog, hey, I have a dwarven battalion. That'll work. It's a win-win for Sauron.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so as we kind of wrap up, any predictions or any final thoughts, final things you want to say about season 3? We might, if there's another trailer or ahead of season 3, we might do another a recap episode or something about season 2 and talk about or we might do a preview of season 3. But just as of right now, based on this teaser, is there any final predictions or theories or anything you want to say?
So, at second 35, it starts where it says Gandalf, Grand Elf, whatever you want to call him, says, "Has it not yet occurred to you? Death might well be the price of saving it." Talking about
Middle Earth.
Middle Earth, and it's like, okay, cool foreshadowing. What he has to go through, but where is that going to fulfill? Where is that, in a sense, prophecy going to be fulfilled in the here and now in this season?
I find it worrying. It smash cuts to Numenor.
Yes,
that's probably not great.
Or I mean, if you go with if you go in a bit of a left field and say that it's not Saruman, which would be a radical change for how they're doing everything, maybe you could have that character sacrifice himself in some capacity. It'd be on the nose, but they've done that before,
and
right?
that's what I was trying to get to. That maybe he's going to have to sacrifice himself and become Sauron the White. And this is how he becomes the White.
I was sent back. To turn the tide.
Yeah.
Except I'm going to lose my ways.
I mean, kind of based on the way they frame him, it totally does look like he's talking to definitely not Saruman, definitely Saruman.
Yeah.
The Dark Elf.
Or
Blue Wizard.
Really... Oh, gosh.
Dark Elf. Dark Wizard.
Yes. The Dark Elf. Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
He's an elf wizard.
No, he's dead.
That's not this.
See, any theories or final thoughts, Father Bryan?
Yeah, I definitely think that think that the Celeborn, who I think will be captured, we've learned will have been captured by Sauron for a long while. I think that's going to be. I expect that's going to be a big thing. I don't know what it is. I think that's going to be a big plot point for the season. And in addition to the hopefully positive thing we get with Galadriel, I think it's going to be maybe he's going to reveal something, he's going to learn something. It's going to be a big turning point, I suspect. And don't know how well it'll be done, but I suspect that'll be a big turning point. You don't bring that character in without having some reason why he's been gone, right? So I suspect that's what they're going to do in some capacity. It'd be cool to see some kind of fight between the Balrog and Sauron. He would probably need to lose that fight ultimately, or maybe come to a stalemate in the very least. But that'd be kind of cool to see as well, because they're basically equal, right? Basically, in terms of power structure, if you want to say it like that. In terms of their hierarchical power, if you will, right? They're basically equal level, like Balrog and Sauron.
Well, I do think that Sauron was able to get more training because he was underneath Melkor but they are from the same choir.
Yeah. Any other theories or anything from you, Robert?
I mean, I could probably fairly endlessly speculate on what we're going to see. So at this point, I'm taking a wait and see approach. Like, I'm going to try and let this season stand on its own merits.
Nice. Yeah, I think I've already kind of said, but I think it's going to end with Sauron, going to Numenor. Or Numenor helps with in the war. They show up because they want power too. Because they're kind of pushing into Middle Earth with taking over Pelargir. So I think we're going to kind of see them kind of pushing in to create their power. I'm curious where we'll see Elendil, because when we last saw him, he was riding away from the city, kind of as a refugee, or kind of as a what's the word I'm thinking of? Kind of fleeing because the queen sent him away to kind of lead the faithful. And we are going to see Anarion. He was cast. I can't remember the actor, but he was cast in this season. So we will see. So I think we're
and would they need to come up with his backstory and where he's been?
Well, they said he went to like his mother's family, I think, or like he was with like the faithful on the other side of Numenor or something. I mean, I think that's what they said. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
So he'll be some kind of Easterling. I say it as a joke. You watch me be right.
And we haven't seen Amandil at all, right? We haven't seen any Amandil anywhere, right?
They're Elendil's father? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, so we could. Yeah, I mean, that could be where Anarion has been. He could have been with him.
Because I would love to see Amandil come in some capacity, because he's have a reference. Obviously, it's a big point when he goes to Valinor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't see what happens with the whole thing, but that'd be a cool thing to see. Maybe have him show up at some point with an whatever, reference it, and then later on had this character go off in some capacity. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's fun getting when a season like this approaches, because there's it's fun to speculate on, fun to see what happens, and fun to talk about. So. All right, so we did have a little bit of feedback, and this is from the Denethor episode that I was not able to be on, but so these are just some comments from Elisa. I think this one was from Discord. Just finished up the Denethor episode. I appreciate the articulation of the differences between the movie and book versions. I knew I didn't like the movie version, but I couldn't put my finger on why. Probably because I was so distracted by my rage at the butchery of Faramir's character. I love the movies, but that was probably the change I was most irate about. I also really like that Pope Leo quoted Gandalf. That's just awesome. And if there's an audiobook version, I think I'm going to go listen after I finish reading Roverandom so I can listen to that episode. It is longer than I expected.
I told you. It always is. It always is.
And then on YouTube.
And officially... Pope Leo's document is about 2 Roverandoms long, according to the audiobook version of Roverandom. Okay,
so Roverandom is now it's a unit of time. Correct. So, all right, and then I think on YouTube as well, or on YouTube on Denethor, Daniel Harrison 7289 said, "I find it interesting that the tomato stands out so much. If I remember my annotated Hobbit correctly, Tolkien originally had Gandalf bid Bilbo bring out the cold chicken and tomatoes, but change it to cold chicken and pickles because that seemed a little bit more medieval. Apparently, if his world had pipeweed, tobacco, and dwarf root potatoes, having tomatoes would be overdoing the New World plants. So tomatoes do not belong in The Lord of the Rings. They are unnatural. Now you have a watertight Tolkien fan reason for expressing your revulsion."
All right, I like it.
Now I need to Google, are potatoes from the New World? Really?
And then our last comment was from Jolly9967, said, "Love this talk. God bless you guys. Would love to share a beer with you sometime."
Oh, if you're around Detroit, let me know.
So I attend Great Lakes Medieval Fair. I attend the Ohio Renaissance Fair. It can be found at Origins. Like I can give you an itemized list of where you can buy me drinks. It's fine.
And if we get enough patrons, maybe Dom will send us to Hobbiton and we can do a podcast from there. So.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Yes, Dom, please
That
do.
would be amazing.
So please give to
That would be amazing.
Please donate to the Patreon. My wife has some shopping to do.
Also,
I'm all for that idea.
That's awesome. Also, in terms of the last feedback, I forgot I wanted to mention the fact that tomatoes and potatoes are actually connected to each other, and they share a common ancestor. And the reason that they became tomatoes and potatoes separately is because of humans in this age. So I agree, tomatoes shouldn't be here.
But do you boil, mash them, and stick them in a stew?
I mean, yes, but you also make spaghetti sauce, and they don't have that. So
coming in season 3 of Rings of Power. All right. Well, on that note, since we are off the rails, that is it for this episode of The Secrets of Middle-earth. We'd like to take a moment to thank all of our patrons who make this show possible, including Mary H., Joseph G., Mark B., Nellie B., and Lynn Z. Their generous donations help us to continue to create The Secrets of Middle-earth and all the shows at StarQuest. And you can join them at givestarquest.com. So be sure to follow the show on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, or any podcast directory or app. And you can find us on social media at facebook.com/StarQuestMedia, or on X where we are at SQPN, or on Instagram where we are at StarQuest Network. And don't forget that you can get your own official Secrets of Middle-earth merch, including our awesome t-shirt, at sqpn.com/merch. It's a great way for you to support the show and show your love for Tolkien and his wonderful world of Middle-earth. So now we'd love to hear from you, our listeners. What did you think of the Rings of Power Season 3 teaser? Do you have any predictions, hopes, or fears for this season? You can let us know on our Facebook page or on Twitter, or by sending an email to middleearth@sqpn.com, by leaving us a comment on YouTube or on Spotify, or for the most fun, visiting our channel on the StarQuest Discord community at sqpn.com/Discord. There's a lot of fun discussion going on over there, including something about dwarven boots that was happening.
I hate it. So bronze toenails.
So if you want more of that, and why would you not? Join us at
not the
Discord,
toenails.
So join us next time for an episode on the graphic novel Mythmakers, which is about the friendship of Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. So until then, thank you, Father Bryan Shackett, for joining me and sharing the secrets of Middle-earth.
Glad to be here. May the stars continue to shine on the hour of our meeting.
And Rob Leonardi, thank you as well.
Thank you. There are no friends of Mordor here.
And Robert Story, thank you too.
I see you've left me the east wind.
And once again, I'm Jeff Haecker. Thank you for listening to The Secrets of Middle-earth on StarQuest.
Here's another show on the StarQuest Network you're sure to enjoy. The Secrets of Technology. Find it wherever fine podcasts are found or at sqpn.com/technology.